So I'll be heading out of the door for a very typical workout of mine, 5 times 6 minutes at the threshold pace. In this video I will tell you what I learned as being a coach so far. But first I need to get on my run. Time to get rolling. It's nice weather out here when it's not raining. So 20 degrees, a bit sunny. Very nice to run outside. Yeah, let's get this workout on the run. Oh, and by the way, I'm getting in pretty good shape after my marathon. Doing quite some interval and tempo work afterward, and now doing some shorter races. This weekend I race 5k on the track or 10k on the road. We'll post a video about it, but starting to feel in good shape. Okay, my workout is done. Managed to run around 320 to 325 per kilometer. Felt very comfortable. So yeah, I'm in good shape for racing this weekend. Looking forward to it. Now heading home to finish this video. And welcome back to the studio. Since half a year I started coaching, which is a lot of fun. Online coaching of athletes around the world. From the United States, the UK, India, Mauritius, yeah, a lot of people worldwide, or runners with their own goals, ambitious runners. It's a lot of fun. In this video I will talk about what I learned so far from being a coach. Of course, there's a lot more to learn. I'm just doing this for 6 months. However, it's nice to share some thoughts that I had about the subject, which you might learn from yourself as well. I'm wearing running clothes again, by the way, because I'll be heading out to the track again soon for the second training today.
Last weekend I had the opportunity to see one of my own runners that I coach doing a 3 kilometer track race in my local town as well.
Gaat lekker, Gabriel! 3:18, prima!
I set a small PB last Friday on the 3 kilometer on the track. I managed to run 8:31. Here's the result. And I previously had 8:33 as personal best on the 3K. So yeah, my speed is not worse than before. I'm getting into shape, so that's a good sign. The guy who I was coaching was his first 3K on the track, and he had some little setbacks from sickness in the last weeks.
However, he made it to a decent time just above the 10 minutes.
So what did I learn so far from being an online running coach? The first thing is that consistency is not the only factor towards success. Like I mentioned before in my previous video about periodization, I think there's a lot of gain to be made to play around with the running volume of athletes and also different type of workouts they do through the year.
Consistency is a key factor. However, doing the same routine week in week out will in the end not make you much faster anymore.
And the next thing I learned will also help with the consistency of running for most runners out there. And that is that most runners tend to set short-term goals instead of long-term goals.
I was running with Timel Kers in Eton, Kenya for several weeks. He ran a 2:06 marathon recently in London Marathon and is going to the Olympics as well.
During the runs we of course talked a lot about running. It was a lot of fun. He taught me a valuable lesson to think in long-term goals instead of short-term goals. Sometimes your shape is just not great or things don't work out as the way you want them in races. However, if you set long-term goals, for example 3, 4 or 5 years away, a lot can happen if you work hard and stay dedicated. And of course, setting long-term goals will also make you more consistent in training over the long term. And third, you see that most runners find it difficult to stay flexible with their training schedule. I think most runners are dedicated and they like the routine of running. However, sometimes when you have a niggle or when you're sick, it's best to recover proper or take a rest day. Of course, this is not the case with every small niggle.
However, I tend to train too soon after sickness, or while I was sick still, and not recover enough after sickness.
Like I mentioned before, if you set long-term goals, one rest day won't break or make your shape. However, on the short term, it can really be beneficial to be more consistent and pick up training better after your rest day or when you take the volume down for 1 or 2 days instead that you get injured, for example. And next in line, I think it can be beneficial for most runners out there to talk to someone about running. It can be a coach, of course.
I have a coach myself, which I speak to on a weekly basis. When I was training in Eton, Kenya, we used to call every Friday.
I still value his input a lot on my training program. What are, in my opinion, the main benefits of input from someone to talk to or a coach? First, you can talk about being flexible. How do you approach training when you're injured or sick? So I think it's best to have a second opinion. And also, you can talk about a lot of different topics like periodization, how to taper towards your race, cross training, how to execute your threshold training, a lot of different topics. And last, if you write your own training schedule, I think you stick with the workouts that you know, and the coach can write down workouts which you never thought of before. So that's also a very big benefit. And last, what I notice is that cross training and strength training is quite undervalued in most training programs. We are, of course, runners, and we like to run. However, to become better runners, especially cross training, can be very beneficial because you can make a lot of extra hours, for example, on a cross trainer on a bike to train your aerobic fitness without the extra risk of injury.
Some runners also lack some strength, which limits their top speed and makes them more prone to injury.
With my own athletes, I also really try to discuss strength training and what kind of exercises they do, and also to put some extra cross training into the training schedule. Well, this was it today on the video about what I learned as a coach. I hope this gave you some insight as well. I need to start running again. Unfortunately, it's raining again in the Netherlands. At least it's not cold like in the winter. And as always, if you still go out there today yourself, have fun and get on the run.